can't do it mentality. I'm a breakdown if you're not watching me, you know. I am not programmed with those suggestions. That's why we succeed, man. I'm a nice guy. But I just don't put up with your shit no more, you know? So I choose to opt out. But I got my master trolling. You know, we've been talking to the walls and to my inner insecurities for years. We got good at telling ourselves where to go. Now I just want to share the love, man. I want to share what I've learned, the bachelors and masters and associates and certificates and big dicks and tight pussies. I will show you how to find the entrance to your future. It's all up to you. The question is, do you want it? Because I heard you really do want it, but you ain't like me. You don't wake up early and go to work early when you got the boss's permission to go to work and get a head start on your future. Nah, you wait, man. You wait until they say you're the bare minimum. You only do 8 hours a day of work, and that's pathetic. I do like 3 and 4. Who the hell wants to work 15 hours a day? Granted, I used to when my back wasn't so broke. But now that Jesus is in my life now, since 2005, since I had my near-death experience, and I came back here with a wish of, we ain't done rapping yet, man. We ain't done rapping yet. And Wadri is now the new Casper. So I promise you, this is driven from a higher force field than I would like to admit, but it has proven to me that, you know, coincidences is all cool and all, but this certainly can't be a coincidence still. You know, there's too many coincidences that it's like I dump a puzzle on the table and all the pieces fall next to each other. I barely have to look for it. And it makes sense. I'm like, this cannot be a coincidence that I shook up this box real well, dumped it on the table, and the pieces basically fell right together. How often does that happen? 1 out of 100? 1 out of 100 million? 1 out of a billion? How many times, man? You're looking at the rare individual where the doctor never checks for rare symptoms because it's a rare case. And sometimes I gotta remind people how special I am. You want to pretend that you ain't dumb. You want to pretend that you ain't retarded a bit. You want to pretend that you all that in a bag of chips. Homie, the only thing I see there is 2 bags of chips. And your stomach is too big. You need to go down to 1 bag. If you're just all that and 2 bags of chips, holy crap, man. You should buy some of my 4 wax and wax your forehead, because it's exploded a bit. You know, it's like cancer. You got a huge forehead. It looks like the front end of that Wiener mobile. Oscar Mayer Wiener. No, your forehead looks like the front of that. And that's disgusting. You should get that fixed. So yeah, I am here, man, for you. Please send me your comments over on the videos. I do see them. I've just been too busy working, and I don't promote much. Like, I market and I sell, but I'm too busy to promote. Like, I don't want to promote right now. I'd rather continue doing what I'm doing. And I actually do enjoy this slow period. You know, there's a lot to learn when you ain't got comments, when you ain't got views, when you feel like all you have is yourself. There's a learning lesson there. And instead of hating it, instead of making me depressed, instead of being it a reason not to do what I do, I ignore it. Just like, you know, your suggestion on how beautiful my face is. I'm like, man, it ain't that beautiful. I'm cute and handsome, but I ain't that sexy. Like, I'm sexy and a bag of chips, not 2 bags like you, sir. Notice I called you sir. And even though it sounds like I'm an asshole, I ain't an asshole out of here, man. I should put that in a disclaimer. I'm just real good at talking to myself. And if I get high, I'm a good interviewer. But God didn't put me in a place to interview much. However, God put me in a place to produce. And instead of asking questions, why me? I grabbed this opportunity because, let's face it, I got 23, basically. I don't think I'm going to die in the next few days. So 23 albums that my wife will collect royalties on, and my kids. You know, for 70, so 2000. This was probably until 21, let's say 30. That's when the royalties will quit. And the stuff becomes like open source. Start using it, bro. Without, you know, who's getting paid? No one. But until then, I thought this was a much better place to put all my money than the stock market. You know, I'm building a printing press / casino. I'm waiting now. You know I produce great music because I can freestyle over every bit of it. Everyone who listens to the music on SoundCloud, most of them love every track. So the point is, I don't suck. The point is, I just don't advertise. And why, when eventually we will have 15,000 tracks, why do I waste my time in the instant gratification when it hasn't been built yet? Therefore, they will not come. I continue to get the ladies' panties wet. This track right now is getting a female wet. She's wiggling it to my voice. She's sitting on a speaker with a mirror super glued or hot glued on to the big ass subwoofer that she borrowed from her brother. And she suction cupped her dildo on there and listened to me talk for a whole hour while she was staring at my poster. I mean, yo, I could be having sex with a million chicks. Like, logically. I wouldn't say physically. Because 4K cameras, like, they do well. You know, even these GoPros versus the $8,000 Canons, which we will have someday. Just like my diamond teeth. I'm gonna get my eyelids done. We're gonna be little diamonds hanging there. So we come up with new styles, man. I'm gonna have on my forehead looking beautiful. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's just what the woman asked for. I mean, sometimes you gotta let Jesus drive. Stop asking questions. All right, so we're gonna be going here in 7 minutes at 7 a.m. I've been waiting patiently for this iPad to charge. It's 78%, but we'll continue going till it goes down to 10%. Then we're gonna stop for today. And the music you're hearing now is part of the next album we are currently working on, CJ023. So I think this shit is hot. I really do. And the week that we start freestyling, because when I start freestyling, I want to continuously do it. Because I can be like, yo, let's do it today, but not do it for another 3 days. It's like a waste of my time, you know? Like, it's almost like promoting a product that will promote itself because of pure saturation in the market. How can you run away from 15,000 tracks? 15,000 ways to get your attention. That's the music career goal that Creative Wind Studios offered me in a contract over 10 years and possibly 20 years. It's a 20-year deal. And I'm like, that ain't too bad. You know, especially at the time when I was at my worst, most desperate. I probably should have had a lawyer with me as I signed it, but all I was thinking about was the money. And be like, doing 300 tracks will take 300 albums will take a long time for sure. But it's something that I can do with my eyes closed. And this is something we haven't done in our younger years. We are brand new to this game. And 3 years in, as a student, I've mastered the art of freestyle and also spoken word. I'm good at picking you up. I'm good at tearing you down. I'm good at making you feel like shit. I'm good at making you feel good about yourself. I can destroy you in a second. I can pick you up in a second. The question is, how are you treating me at that moment? Because the power lies within your hands. So tiptoe as the energies is what you need to be focused on. No one will sign you with low energy disease. I was diagnosed with excessive determination and manic creativity. They want to say that I had a multi-personality, but I was like, yo, talk to my boss at Hollywood about that. I still don't believe any of that shit, but it's like, oh, it's a cool story. You know, if you didn't know the story, you could say, you know, a stranger is waiting to see me. They got no idea. They're just waiting outside. You know, they're trying to buy something from me. Like a battery for a AAA battery I'm selling for 50 cents. So they drove 5 miles to get the best deal. And they're just listening to me talking all crazy, man. They don't know the full story. They don't know I'm a legend. They don't know that I'm a boss. They don't know that I'm like a millionaire. They don't know. Do they need to know? Sometimes not explaining to you the full situation, I mean, it's better for all of us. The moment I said I had a big dick, you should have seen your face, man. You were scared. until you saw the ring, but then your self-confidence still dropped because you knew that you're underqualified for female comfort. You ain't a tight fit. You a loosey-goosey. And a warm bucket of water. She could be so tight, but you're still the symptom of a warm bucket of water. That's why you pee yourself. Because you think life is a warm bucket of water. And, you're how old now and you're still pissing the bed? Because life ain't a warm bucket of water, homie. Do you sleep and have dreams about warm buckets of water? You know what I dreamed about last night? This is some true shit. I dreamed that I was in a raging river, out of control. And I live in fear. But I've learned not to fear the monster under my bed. Instead, I made friends with the devil. I made friends with Jesus. I made friends with God. I made friends with the super God. I made friends with the super God, because someone's got to make someone. You can't make something out of nothing like I will tonight. Watch me. I will make and be amazing for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to the show. So when my iPad gets up to 80%, we're gonna unhook it, begin this, and it's pretty easy. We're gonna be using this QY100 Yamaha. It's a sequencer. Has a whole bunch of sounds. This thing's connected to one of these things, which takes the hum out to the auto beat effect sensing touch mix from QSC 16. It's a wonderful piece of equipment. If you can get your hands even on this, like this thing's got every sound you can buy, and this thing's so old. This thing was like born in 1980s, but it's great. I mean, how many new sounds, how many new guitars can they have? Probably a lot, if I upgraded. But that box right there is pretty expensive. And basically to make all this work, we are using one iPad down here, connected straight into the iConnect MIDI. So this thing is now a keyboard. This thing now controls and acts like a keyboard, but we're using the application for iOS called Riffer. And it is a paid app. And it's a random MIDI generator. I was wishing on one of those would come into my future. And I kept on believing, and I did find it. I found one, so I no longer have to beat on the keyboard. The music you hear is the result of a random MIDI generation happening. So basically this thing down here sends a signal to my iConnect MIDI through Wi-Fi or direct connection for low latency. It then can connect to this through MIDI. So it transforms it. So now I got a hybrid system here. I can either use that or this at the same time. It can also hook up my Alesis, this machine down here, and use the same program to control the random drum machine. And on this one over here, we are using another app on our iPad Pro connected to audio, a sonic port, which produces wonderful quality, has stereo input and stereo output. You can use it at the same time. And on this program, there's another feature on there that randomly picks a drum. That randomly picks one of these things that we are making. So we are building up our collection of samples. So I appreciate you coming to my show. Thank you, Creative Wind Studios. And this is all you need, man. I will be saving my retirement. I am Justin Perry, formerly known as Casper Wright Script, nowly known as Wadri. We ain't done rapping yet. It's a bunch of names, I know. CJ, Casper, Justin, LGCD is our recordings. We got seasons. Today is LGCD 438.8. We got one more recording before we end the season. So welcome to my fantastic setup. Do the front one here. So, and up in the corner, if you look up here in those two boxes, we're using two Chromecasts. So to make this really seem interactive for you guys, on one iPad we're using TV Mirror Plus. It's another paid app. And over here, we are using a different one. Called Screen Mirror. And this one streams wirelessly the screen to the other Chromecast. There you go. So if you look over here, this one has, these are all of my recordings I've made from this app. See that? And we are recording at 16 bars. So same thing over here. And we also pull up. Oh, and you can see that now both of these apps are connected. So these apps can also talk with each other wirelessly through Wi-Fi. So the first things first, you open up Riffer, and you got to send it to the right MIDI port. So we're using MIDI 1. Easy, real easy to control this stuff. MIDI 1, and MIDI 1 comes up here. And if you look at this scale, you'll figure it out. And I'll tell you what, but it's basically real simple. Real simple, man. So when we change the tempo here, it also changes over here. One nice thing about this setup that I really like when it comes to editing or preparing it, because right now we're making beat CDs that I will then just basically normalize. I don't add any effects, I don't add any compression. I normalize it just so I'm keeping the quality and integrity of the file without destroying it. So all the way to the end, we use no compression, nothing. So everything's different now. Ever since CJ22, I'm pretty proud of, because we made some nice strides too. So this one we got drum sets. This may take us a while because I can delete each drum from right there. So I enabled them all, I believe. These are the packs that I bought. Not all of them, man. So instead of disabling the sound pack, I'm just going to delete the sound, because there's still sounds in here that I like. But for a while, this is going to be messy. Got a bunch of sound packs, we got our own, and our goal here is to transition to our own. I'm thankful that we live in the time we do, because it's given me the opportunity to grow at my own pace using these already available tools out there. Alright, so let's begin. Yes, yes, yes.